Everyone has a bright light inside of them that deserves to be seen by the world. That's why it's time to shine the light on the extraordinary who are accomplishing phenomenal things. This is the Shine Out Loud Show with Lillian Obogo.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever in the world you are. This is another episode of the Shine Out Loud Show with me, Lillian Obogo. Oh my God, I am so excited. I cannot contain myself. Yes, I say I'm excited a lot, but really tonight is really one of those nights that if you missed this show live, it's on you, because I have the Superwoman herself, Grammy-nominated artist who has gone from singer to actress, film writer. She's in front and behind the camera. This woman made a phrase into an iconic song. The word Superwoman. Anybody in that era will remember the song that took up the woman's mantle. This is the incredible, the beautiful, amazingly fantastic, and she just sang my name, Karyn White. Oh my God, welcome.
Oh my God, thank you so much. You know what? It's like, this was such an introduction. You don't know what you did for me. Edify, I love it.
Oh,
That's
are,
nice.
I cannot believe I'm going to do my fangirl moment, then get into the interview. I was supposed to be all professional, but no, you sang my name, so that's gone out the window. You are the Karyn White. Oh my God. Thank you for being on the show.
It's such an honor. You know, and I can't wait to get back to the UK. I love London. And it's like, if people in London are feeling you, like, you've made it, because you guys are the tastemakers.
Ooh, we like that. Please, when you're coming back, let us know.
Yes.
We will love to have you and see you when you're around.
Yes, I'll be coming back soon. Hopefully, I was there about a couple of years ago. Did the Jazz Cafe. I'll be doing more, and I got a secret that I'm going to be doing something in film out there, but I can't share what it is. But it's going to be major, and it's going to be an incredible show. So I just wanted to put that's a little sneak peek. But when I can, I'm definitely going to come back on your show and talk about it, because you're going to love it.
Ooh, okay, I'm all excited now. I am excited. I want to know. Okay, so all right, let's jump right in. Now, you are one of those people that you are part of an iconic era of music. And you took some time away, you were raising your daughter, you were doing other things, and now you've come back and you're working in movies. You're both in front and behind the camera, which is very important. How did you feel working on a movie that is loosely based on your life?
Well, I mean, first of all, to come back, to leave the business for 17 years and come back, you have to be crazy and insane, because we know that, the thing is that, it's all about what have you done for me lately with music.
Exactly.
But I kept going to these, like, when I would go to these auditions and things like that, people remembered me. So it really shows that, like, when you have a classic, when you have timeless songs and like you said, talking about anthems for women, I mean, it's definitely, it was more than just a song. So coming back, doing this story, it was a lot of fun, because Gale, the name of the movie that we wrote and I'm starring in is called Gale in the Storm, and it's about a legendary singer who steps away from the business, and she hooks up with a revolutionary music producer, and he tries to get her back into the game. So that's pretty much what my life was. They tried to, I didn't really want, not that I didn't want to come back, but I had that fear of, like, does anybody care? They've moved on. But I knew that I had a lot still left in me, and I felt like I was better vocally, and I was stretching. As you get older, you especially you start feeling like so I can do it all. Especially as a woman, as we mature, and so I just really am so glad to be back. And then to say taking acting lessons, and then I started I'm just a person who challenges myself to just keep getting better and better. So, I felt like I was auditioning for other people, and sometimes I would get it and sometimes I wouldn't. And so I'm like, I want to write my own story, because I believe that we need to tell our own narrative, especially as Black people, because this story is about, a strong woman who does things, not just following the trend, but she's standing up for, real music, real love, and just going after her dreams and passion. And that's me.
Oh my God. When you say that, it's like you've touched on quite a few things. You touched on the power of owning our own narratives. And then you've touched on the area of, women maturing and how we are seen in industries or even how we see ourselves. Now, there's so many issues in that one sentence right there that we can touch on. I'm going to start with this. Now, when people look at you, they're like, oh my God, that's Karyn White. Oh my God, she did this, she's done that. And you are starting from scratch. You decided, I'm going to be an actress. I'm going to learn about this industry. Did you at any moment feel, I can't do this?
Oh my God, of course. I mean, you fight your own demons. And I always pray to God. I'm like, I've prayed protection against other people, but it's against my own self and my own doubt and fear. So I had to really, just understand that, when God calls you to a thing, he's going to, give you everything that you need. And it's not so much that I didn't think that I could do it. It's just I knew that, R&B music, I knew, being independent, I just knew it was going to be tough. Yeah. And because I released a record called Coffee Dim about 5 years ago, and that was on my own label, and I saw how hard it was, just, because when I was with Warner Brothers, you had, millions of, you had, publicists and, all this, advertising money. And so I know that I don't have it, so I had to be clever and work hard. And so it was just a, because I want to show women, and as I say women, but I'm talking to men too, but especially my women, because, I represent the Superwoman. I want to just, show that, we can do these things and not feel like we're just, especially not just singing, because I want it to be the business side of me, owning my own publishing, owning my own songwriting, and then also coming into the film industry. So I felt, like I said, it's been a challenge, and I've, I had to take it one day at a time and just, learn as much as I can. But the great part is that I feel like I still, I own this product, and there's a different feeling because I could have just handed it over. It's easy to say, find the distribution deal, but I'm doing it the hard way. So I have to stay in there and hang in there, because that's, but that's the way that's going to, be the most satisfying, also financially as well as, emotionally, and being able to really not just make one movie, but have a company that makes films. So.
Oh,
it's work, hard work.
I bet. And like you said, it's rewarded, and I am in awe of that. Now, you mentioned about the business side, and what most people don't know about you when they think Karyn White, we think the legend, the musician. You're also a serial entrepreneur. You've been into real estate, and the real estate industry, you actually used to flip properties. How did you go from singing to selling $1 million properties?
Well, let me say this. Actually, I didn't sell them as far as being a real estate agent, but I'm an investor. So I do. What it is that I am a serial entrepreneur. I believe that I'm looking at my life, and if I can say that about me, I always have to have a project, and I think it's something that I'm working on. Even myself, I'm always trying to better myself. So. When I was away from the entertainment industry raising my daughter, I knew that I wasn't going to not just, what was I going to do? So I knew that Terry Lewis, my ex-husband, the iconic Terry Lewis, and great producer, we built this huge house in Minnesota. So that was like me going to school, because I was working with the best architects, the best, interior designers. And so there was really a lot of training. And once I had that experience, when he and I divorced, unfortunately, I felt like I had another skill set. And so when I moved to California, I moved to Sacramento, Northern California, and the real estate industry was, you could still buy homes and at a low amount and fix them up, and it was. So I started to do that, and my only deal with my daughter was that, you can't, Mom, if we're going to be moving, and because we would move every 2 years, and then I started, buying other properties that I rented, but we had to stay in the same school district. And so I really love that side because I love taking something that is like, historic and that's all, beautiful underneath it, but you got to find the beauty and restore it. So I just signed on a property today in Atlanta that I call it the moldy chateau because it's kind of mold in it and nobody wanted it, and so I was able to get it for a good price, and I'm going to be doing a show. So if you go to KarynWhite.me, KarynWhite.me, sign up. You're going to be able to see as chronicled as I flip this house and make it beautiful.
Well, congratulations on the purchase. Oh, my God. So seriously, congratulations.
Thank you.
And I will be signing up so I can watch and get some tips myself.
Thank you. Yes. I love, Europe, and my style is, I love mixing like, modern with antiques, and I, very French and Parisian, and so I'm very excited about just like a world-traveled look. So I'm excited. I love interior design just as much as I love music, but it's a close second.
Oh, well, you are a definitely multi-talented serial entrepreneur, and I will love to talk to you a bit more later on about your different projects, especially the property and I'm going to keep coming back and dropping hints about the project coming up in London. I'll keep dropping hints.
Oh, I know. It's actually, so yeah, it's a project coming, and we will be shooting there. So but that's all I can say. So, but it's going to be incredible, and and you guys, it's a big star that you guys know there. So, I'm in this. I got cast as one of the people in the movie, but that's all I can say. But I'll let you know.
That's all. We won't mention it again. We won't.
Okay.
So
yes.
going into your your history and what you've done and looking at your bio, I ran across another interview, and you mentioned in a recent interview that you didn't like who you were becoming when you first were recording. You had your first recording contract. Who did you think you were becoming?
Oh man, I was becoming very materialistic. My values were changing, and spiritually, I didn't like who I was becoming because I wasn't really. A lot of things happen so fast, and so when you're young, you can kind of think that it's supposed to happen because you're first, you get your first hit. You're working with Benny Medina and L.A. and Babyface, and then Jimmy and Terry, and these are happening fast and moving. You don't even have a chance to really sit back and just like, wow, look at where I've come from, because things are just happening fast. And so I didn't really, spiritually, I felt like I was off because I wasn't really appreciating my gift and what the whole purpose of why God blessed me with this, voice and just, the whole, my talent. And so I didn't know. I kind of went into a depression. As I look back on it, that's really what it was.
Right.
And so, so that's, and then, I had my daughter, and then I didn't feel like I had such an awesome mother. I didn't really feel like, the one thing about my personality is that it's a negative and a positive, but I'm very driven, so I don't know how to balance. Like when I have a goal, it's like, it's a 5. I have a system of like, you do everything every day. You start out with your 5. The most important thing, you don't do a 1, you do your 5 first, right? So it was hard for me to balance being a great mother, a great wife, a great musician, because I didn't know how to put those on. So like bonkers, like how like overload machine, like So I just, I really, and that's what I didn't feel like I really knew how to do it, and something was settling. So I had to kind of step back. And, as I was stepping back, I was, all of this stuff that came, that
Right.
actually, as I, stepped away from the business, I knew that spiritually I really needed to just appreciate and just be, gratitude and just where I went off track,
Okay.
and then, being competitive in a business, especially, you got all the divas out there doing their thing, and you're getting caught up and all of those things about being competitive and not realizing how blessed I was. I remember this story, right? This is a funny story. I went into Warner Brothers and I remember them saying like, oh, well, you used to be a sex symbol and you used to do this and that since you've gotten, and since you've gotten married, I mean, it just seems like, you're not really, the sex symbol, the person that you used to started out being. And instead of me embracing that and saying, you're right, I'm a wife and I have a very powerful husband and we're a team, that kind of made me feel like, I'm still sexy and I still got it. You know what I mean? As opposed to being strong and rooted and this is who I am today, And so I remember doing a video, Can I Stay With You? And so that was a very sensual song and a very sensual video. And really, a married woman probably shouldn't have been doing that kind of video. But, I mean, I understand I'm still an artist.
Of course.
But these are just compromises, that you look back and you go, wow, but you're young, you know what I mean? And those things affect you if you're not grounded. So, there we go.
I do agree, and that grounded is so important. And the fact that someone is saying to you that, oh, you're not sexy, I'm sure I can find people who would have disagreed with them in a nano-heart second. That's how much they would have disagreed with them. Now,
exactly. But when you're like, it's so funny.
You talk about a lot about the fact that you stepped away to raise your daughter, who is now a young lady. Now, here's the question that I have to ask. The world still fawns over the fact that you were Karyn White. Does she kind of look at you and go, no, you're just mom?
No. She kind of looks at me as Karyn White. It's interesting because she really has such a respect for me. And I'm so blessed. My daughter is everything. Her and Terry are born on the same day. But, yeah, she really, because I guess I stepped away, she always felt like when she would see my stuff, like, why did you stop singing? So she kind of was rooting for me to get back. You know what I mean? It's like, wow, you were amazing. And then she'll come to my show and she'll be like, oh my God, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, why did you give that up? But, Ashley Lewis is her name, and she's a newscaster now, and she just, I think it's Virginia. She just moved from a station, and so she's doing very well in her own right in the entertainment industry. So, and I believe that, I guess since she's in the business now, she sees how hard it is, and so when she meets people and they know me, it really makes her feel like, oh my God, that's my mom. So I'm really blessed to have her.
Oh, wow. And congratulations to her as well. Now, we are supposed to be talking about the movie, but I'm sorry, I'm still going to do this and go back. You must, go back to Superwoman. Did you think when you released this incredible song that today, 2018, people will still be singing the song? Did you think it will have the legacy it has?
No, because I was, there we go again. Come on, I'm young. I'm thinking, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I had no idea what I was even singing about because I was so young. What the hell did I really know about what a Superwoman was, about persevering and going through things and, you know what I mean, in your life and still, coming out, on top and keep the persistence and all the passion for I had no idea because things came easy to me. I came, easier, so I didn't really know what I was singing. when I sang that song, I really thought about what my mother, she was every bit of a superwoman. So I had no idea. So today, when, I love the fact that, people, like I said, it's that song, and I love that, Fantasia and Victoria Lucken and Tamar just called me. She's doing it, So I just, and then Gladys, Patty, and Dion, I guess once they did it, because they shortly, like about maybe 8 months after it was a #1 hit for me, they redid it. And I was really scared. Then I was like, oh, my God, they're going to take my song. You got 3 iconic, I mean, come on, Dion, Patty, and Gladys.
Wow.
So, but then I knew it was a classic once they did it, too. I was like, wow, this is something.
I've heard, other people do rendition, but I've never heard their rendition. And, I'm biased, so I'm definitely going with yours.
Aww.
Yeah, I know, definitely. I remember watching the video the first time it came out as a kid, and when the team said I was going to be interviewing Karyn White, I looked at my my emails and looked at my screen and was like, yeah, this is too surreal for words. So yes, I definitely had a moment. Now, looking at you as a woman, as a woman of color and a Black woman who's been in the industry, who's done so much, when you think about your creativity and your identity, do you think that they are actually linked? Is your creativity and identity linked?
Oh, is my creativity and my identity linked?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe it is. To some degree, because people look at me as a superwoman, and that's such an awesome title. Because I've had dance stuff too. I got Secret Rendezvous, The Way You Love Me. Yes. I do, all kinds of music, but I love the fact that my identity is that I think I'm a superwoman. So yeah, I would kind of say it is somewhat linked. Mm-hmm.
Okay, awesome. We have some live listeners, Karyn, who have some questions for you. So I'm going to start.
Oh!
Yes. We have Nicola Militant, and she has a question first. She says she's so glad that, to be listening to the interview. And her first question is, you seem to be a perpetual storyteller through music and now in film. What inspires your narrative? Great question, Nicola.
What inspires my narrative? A storyteller, my life, and, just being, I guess, wanting to be able to tell quality stories, especially from, Black people, because there's so many stories that need to be told. So that inspires me.
Awesome. And the other question you have, Nicola, I hope that answers your question. The other question we have is from Norman Bonner. Now, his question is, how hard was it to build a construction crew in Sacramento where you were somewhat new to the area?
Oh, man. I was actually able to get, which I always tell people, to get a mentor. So I was able to hook up with someone who pretty much, I bought her home, and so she taught me. I didn't just get out there and say, oh, I want to be, flipping houses. So no, I actually, was under her. I had a mentor, and she brought me a lot of her team, and so that made it a lot easier. So I always tell people, whenever you're starting something new, definitely have somebody who's done it. And she had did like 12 homes, and she's an awesome designer. So it was a lot easier for me to have her relationship.
Oh, that is incredible. And you're right. Everybody needs a mentor when they're starting out. And, and that's very important, which a lot of us, we sometimes forget that we need to have that hand-holding process as we go on in our journey.
Definitely.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking at the film, Gale and the Storm, and before we even touch on the movie itself, I listened to the soundtrack, and it just took my breath away. And my question is, the soundtrack seems to be a love song to the 70s. What was your vision for it?
Wow, that's exactly what it was. It would be James Brown. If James Brown and Tina Marie had a baby, it'd be Gale Storm. And I am Storm. So it's like the 70s is some of the best, oh my God, the best music. And the great part is that you're talking about from ballads to up-tempos. And so I was able to, Gale, with this character, it was a twofold because I wanted to show people another side of me and not just get me stuck into the sound of, this pop R&B sound. And this was such a departure, and especially on some of the songs that was like, oh, that's you. So it was, I had a great time recording it. I recorded each song like super fast. So this is in my wheelhouse. We did 6 songs in 2.5 days while shooting the film. So this was anointed because trust me, I've never done that before, and and this is just it was like wow. My producer, I was going in there one take, and that has never really happened.
Oh wow!
I was like,
that's incredible to record 6 songs in 2.5 days. That's incredible right there.
Mm-hmm.
And the love in that soundtrack actually shows. It's beautiful. The soundtrack to that movie is absolutely beautiful. And I think that for me, when I was watching the movie, I sat back and I was like, every time some piece of music came on, it kind of struck a chord, and I was like, this is delicious music. I think that's the only phrase I could have for it.
Wow.
It's delicious music.
Yeah. All right. I love it. I'm going to have to use that. It's delicious.
Yes, it's absolutely delicious. And, I also read you picked a lot of indie artists to create the soundtrack. Why did you choose to go that route instead of known signed artists?
Well, I'm, what would I say? I love to help the underdog. And I'm an indie artist right now. So for me, I just wanted to work with people, in my circle. First of all, because of my budget, I didn't have the money to pay some of these artists.
Right.
But on the next film, I will. But just they're very talented, and that's just who I am. I love to help people, and I thought that they were brilliant artists that needed to be on the record. So that's how that started. Next time, as my budget gets bigger too, I'll be able to work with other people, other signed artists.
I think the artist you picked was in keeping with the essence of the movie, because the movie was an independent movie. You picked some brilliant independent people to sing on that soundtrack. So I think it was, as you said, it was divine and anointed, because that's just amazing.
Right, and you said that independent. It was a true indie film, and I don't know if we talk about the budget, but the budget was like we paid like for everything. It was like $20,000. So it was true alchemy. When I I love it because it showed me. I'm like, wow. Because, I had large budgets before. Yeah. So my videos, I'd had $300,000 stupid videos when I look at it back with Warner Brothers. So it just showed you, it's like, you have to be creative. And that's the way I love the world today, because I'm a big YouTuber. And I watch YouTube all the time, and these people that are not known, and I know them and I support them. And I love the world today because you don't have to have a big label behind you.
Exactly.
These people, are getting my attention, and I'm loving it. So I'm all for, independent artists and just going after your dreams.
Awesome. And we're talking about this whole element of you being a screenwriter, producer, actress. So when we're looking at of women in film, especially Black women in film, both in front and behind the camera, who are the women out there now that inspires you?
Okay, well, of course, Ava DuVernay.
Yes, yes.
She's incredible, and I loved her. Love her journey and what she's done. And also, I love with Issa Rae. Those two people have really inspired me, especially Issa, seeing that I watched her show, Awkward Black Girl not from the beginning, but maybe the middle, and I knew she was going to be incredible. And so seeing that, that I think that really inspired me because I knew that she made me, feel like you could do it. It's like just put the work in, and you got to see that, you got to grow with her. And then also Ava, I watched her movie. What was the first movie she did? Was Middle of Nowhere, which was brilliant. And
Yes.
so Selma, really, really. And there's another artist that is here who I work with. Her name is Stacey Muhammad,
Okay.
and we did a what did we do? A pilot. It's called Finding Forever that we're going to probably be working on about a younger man and an older woman who fall in love and all this great stuff. So that's supposed to be coming, but I told her she's got to change those scenes, like no naked scenes in the shower, baby.
Well, you know what? I will say, look, you look amazing. So I think she's playing off of the fact that you look amazing.
Mm-mm.
But we
That's
won't talk
fine,
about
but,
we won't talk about the your male actor alongside.
Oh yeah, yes, the model Travis. No, what's his name? Travis. Yeah, Travis Kerr. Yeah, exactly. So you've seen him, huh? He's pretty hot.
I saw the pilot. I'm like, Jesus Christ! How long does he live in the gym to get arms like that?
I know, exactly. I'm like, are you crazy? And it's like, I'm like, no shower thing. You guys can get like a silhouette of a, silhouette of a silhouette of a silhouette. But get Travis all day long. That's funny.
So yes, and I think it's very important, we need more Black women telling their own narratives. We need more Black women, owning that narratives. I think since last year to today, we have seen a change in the narrative of the film industry from Hidden Figures, Moonlight. We have seen such incredible changes, and I have to go there. What is your take on Black Panther, and have you seen it?
Oh, yes. It is. I love it. It's amazing. I was, Wakanda.
Wakanda forever.
Forever. Yeah. I mean, I loved it. I love, what's her name? Letitia Wright.
Letitia Wright.
She's brilliant.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, she was so funny to me. And I mean, there's just amazing performances. I mean, I loved it. I definitely, was glued to my seat, going to go to see it a second time. So it's incredible.
I think, it's only right for us to see it twice, thrice. I think it was an amazing movie and very well done. And and like you said, it's about that narratives, and you have young boys coming up, they're going to see a Black superhero. And I think first and foremost, that is so pivotal. Secondly, you have the smartest person in the entire Wakanda being a Black young girl, a Black young woman. That was for me. Yes.
Wow, I love what you said. Yeah, because we have to take control of our own stories and see what we get, huh?
Yes.
That is incredible. Just being a mastermind, not a sex symbol, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome, and change the image of Black people. That's what that movie is doing, and that's what we love.
Exactly. So we're going to go back, and one question I have for you that is actually my personal question to you is, how do you bounce back from setbacks personally?
Through prayer. Definitely prayer, meditation, and just stepping away from it all. I get quiet, I get silent, and I know, fasting. So for me, it's really, that's how I bounce back, because I know that setbacks are going to happen. That is life, but I know that dealing with them, you just have, just understanding there's always something good in it if you can see the silver lining. So sometimes you're too close to it. So if you step back, you go like, wow, this was a season. Maybe this wasn't supposed to happen. So I look at things totally different than if I'm just close up in it and wondering, why isn't it happening or whatever? Why did this happen? And God usually reveals why. You just got to be patient enough to hear it and quiet.
I like that. Especially especially the part of going within and just waiting for the answers. I don't think we do that enough anymore.
Woo! Tell me about it. And I just learned that at like 52. I just learned that. I was telling someone, I was like, you know what? Before I would have been pushing, because when you're a person like myself who's driven and you can make things happen with you push, you don't really know, like, does God want me to do this or am I wanting this done? Yeah. And am I doing this, am I just doing this in vain? So I said, I have to understand those seasons of like, okay, well, this isn't the season for that. And to know like the quiet season. And that's really what I learned like the past, I think maybe 6 months, because I was going really hard with the movie, and then I just kind of pulled back because I felt like I needed to, but I was obedient to that, and, I just felt like I needed to hear from God on how to proceed instead of me just, okay, I'm going to hire this person. Why is it happening? It's like, it's not timing, and timing is everything. And when you're an independent artist, it's new. Nobody's seen it. So it's not like you're on the clock of like, okay, you released this, film with, Warner Brothers. So, once you release it, that timeline is there, or the music. It doesn't have an expiration date on it if it's good and it's timeless. And so there's I'm just now learning that. So I definitely wanted to just point that out and saying like, it's a tough thing to do, huh? That patience.
Oh, it is. And yes, and we keep coming around, and the film, one of the things in the movie is the relationship that you have with Hannibal Shabazz. And I'm looking at it based on the fact that you're currently being managed by Jay King, and I'm looking, how did that relationship in real life with Jay King, how did that develop?
Well, actually, Hannibal Shabazz's character is loosely based on Jay King. So that developed, from me, Jay. This story is loosely based, but you see Hannibal, who used to be a street dude, and, he had a lot of success in the business. And then, he was blackballed. And so so Jay King, he was blackballed. He had a lot of success, and he's changed and grown. And so we're both at a place where we're rediscovering some places where we have to trust and open up. And so it takes a while for Hannibal for me to do that with him. But I see, the sincerity of what he's trying to do. And then that pretty much, he pours into me. And the same thing, Jay King from Club Nouveau, who was my manager, he poured into me. And it took a long time for me to trust and even believe that I could do it. I remember like when I first started, I would rehearse for a month and all this rehearsal and I just, not that it wasn't good to rehearse, but as a performer for me, like when I get on stage now, I don't care. I don't care if I rehearsed or not. It's my gift. And so when I feel comfortable, when I'm on the stage, it's just what God gave me, and I totally get that now. And I'm staying strong, and I can get on that stage and just be like, rehearse with the band for that day and just be ready. Whereas before I was thinking it had to be so perfect and this and that. So I just, and that came through acting, because you have to really bare your soul and let it all, all that insecurity out. And so through acting, I was able to be a better performer. And so now I'm like, I don't even know where I'm going sometimes when I'm on stage. I'm like, hold on, you guys, let me stop. I don't even know. I go with what I'm feeling, and the audience, that's the best kind of show. When, it's because I hate, for me, I know you guys probably do too. You see the same show over and over, and you feel like it's like a rope, ding, the same thing. But for me, it's what, like, the people, what they give you, it takes me somewhere else. And that's the beauty of live. So I really love performing live, and I miss it, and I'm hoping to do more. And I'm hoping to get out there with this Gale and Storm and do this music, because I'm like, I really want to perform, because this is going to be incredible. Y'all better watch out when y'all see me on the stage singing these songs.
We cannot wait to have you over singing. We cannot wait. In fact, I have one question to ask, and it's kind of unfair because, these are all your babies. Out of all the songs on the soundtrack, which is your favorite?
It depends. It depends on what mood I'm in, man. But probably, it's gonna be all right, because it's got that Curtis Mayfield music, and that's what I'm saying. Because no matter what I'm going through, it's gonna be all right. That's like a gospel to my soul, especially being in this business.
All right, I like that, and I think once we are done, I'm gonna go and buy the soundtrack, because I have the movie. Now I am gonna get the soundtrack to go along with it.
Oh, thank you. That's so kind.
You're
supporting
welcome.
the music, and that's the thing about. I'm going to talk about the UK and see. I wish people were more open-minded, like you guys are across the pond. It's just music is music. You
Yes.
understand? You guys appreciate good music, and it's not like, okay, it has to be this what's popular. It's like you guys really kind of like finding, discovering and being the trendsetter and saying, no, this is what we think is hot. And that's what I love about, London. And that's why, Prince and Shaka and all these great artists, come over there and live there. And I'm hoping to get there. So I would love to get a slack there and take in some of that energy.
Listen, London will love to have you, and come and enjoy our great city, and discover more here, and perform more and do more, and I keep telling people London is really the gateway kind of city, because it's just 2 hours and a bit to get to Paris from London, and the jazz scene and the music scene in Paris is amazing, and you don't want to miss that.
Ooh, of course. And I want to say this just as quick before you. When I go to South Africa, I use my London band, and they're some of the most incredible. I mean, the singers are brilliant. The musicians are brilliant. I mean, I'm just like, this talent over there is incredible. So I just want to say that you guys are inspiring me, because my background singers, like, they're from the States, and they're so prepared. And when in London, they know all the music. They're just incredible. So I said, I'm not going to use I stopped using my band in the States, and I'm like, I want my London band. So shout out to Carmay and my London band if you're listening. Love you guys.
Awesome. We have one more question coming live for you. Again, Nicola asked.
Okay.
When we've been talking about the film, but the one thing we hadn't spoke about, which is what Nicola pointed, is when are you releasing the film in the UK, and are you going to release it?
Okay, we are stopping that right now. So, I would say probably, the great thing too is that the other project I'm telling you about. Once that hits, then that's going to be easier. See, that's going to make my life easier.
Okay.
So, and probably, around that time. So hopefully this summer. This summer, okay. But you can order it. You don't have to wait. You can go to you can go to GaleandTheStorm.com, GALE and thestorm.com. I did release it. I released it all over the world. Just order it.
And
$4.99.
You just kept it. You kept it in style of what the movie is. It's independent, and everyone can purchase. They can rent it, or they can purchase it directly. And Nicola, if you also go to Karyn's website, KarynWhite.me, there's a link to the movie from the website as well.
Thank you. Yep, sure is.
You're so welcome. When you look at your journey, how far you've gone, how far you've come, what advice would you give your 18-year-old self?
Ha 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 ha. Woo! First of all, what would I slow down? I would say like, what's his name? Be humble. You know, smell the roses. It's like life is it's a journey.
Yes.
And not, yeah, just appreciate. Don't take nothing for granted. That would be what I would tell myself. Slow down. Slow down. Slow down. It's all right, And the thing is that, you want, you really don't know nothing. So that would be the thing, too. It's just like, just be humble and listen. Shut up. That's what I would tell myself.
Okay. All right. So I like that. Be humble, listen, take a moment, smell the roses, and enjoy the process. That's what I got.
Yes. I love it. You're a good editor. Let me. I love it.
Now I have a piece of music from the soundtrack, and I think that it will be. In fact, let me back up for a moment, because what we have an area on the show. We have a feature on the show called A So Loud Moment, where we celebrate, where you get to celebrate something amazing, someone amazing, something great in your career, your life, whatever's going on. And normally it's the guest's prerogative to pick the So Loud moment. And I believe, would you mind if I picked a So Loud moment for you?
Not at all. Pick it.
Okay, so my So Loud moment of the week for you, Karyn White, is we are going to celebrate you. Your longevity with your amazing song, your passion for your industry, your passion for your daughter, your passion, period, and your ability to reinvent yourself. And that is a So Loud moment. And normally it comes with sound effects that sound like this. So yes, that's our So Loud moment for the week. It's you. We're celebrating you.
Thank you. I didn't hear the sound effect.
Oh, that's so strange. It's clapping there, applause and cheering in the background.
Oh, thank you. Yes, thank you. You're so amazing. No, you are amazing. I love you. You're a sweetie. You are incredible. Thank you. I appreciate you.
Thank you. And so,
I celebrate you too.
Oh, thank you so much. I have a couple of more questions, but before we go into those questions, I'm going to play the piece of music that we have from the soundtrack, and it's Hurricane.
All right. Can I say something real quick?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, because you guys will appreciate it. You see if you can hear a little bit of London in there, a little feel sector. So go ahead in the vocals.
All
okay.
Right. All right, let's play this.
Okay.
You can obsess over how it ended, but it's really not much of a point. You can't hide the tears rolling down your face, 'cause
really don't want to stop this song. It is just too beautiful.
Oh.
I love the sound. That is just a beautiful song. You can't help but move listening to that.
Yeah, so that I'm having a, sorry, I'm eating lunch at the same time. I'm just passing through my mouth. You came back so fast. But no, that the part that says when I was a young girl,
yes.
That was a Tina Turner kind of Still Spectre kind of thing. So blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah.
Oh, no. Yep. Somebody, Nicola just sent me a message saying there is a touch of Tina in that. So people are picking up that vibe.
He's right.
So,
and that was, that Still Spectre. It gets harder, and everywhere. Do I love you, my oh my? So it's that song. There's a little yeah. So you may be too young for that. Huh?
I actually know that song. It took me a minute to get there, but I do know that song. I love Tina Turner. She's my favorite go-to song to do karaoke to, and all I can say is "Proud Mary" kills me every time. I don't know how she does that.
Woo! I know. She's my idol too, definitely. I don't know either, but she definitely is something else, huh? Just a rocker, true
exactly.
rocker.
I do Proud Mary. I need to sit down, catch my breath for like an hour. I'm like, okay, the woman is just, she's the greatest of all times. You just have to bow to her.
Exactly.
And speaking of your idols and icons, musically, who were the women that, and even the men that inspired you?
Oh, yeah, lots of, I pretty much, men were who I used to actually work my vocals, and because I didn't really want to sound like a female, so I would listen to, Stevie Wonder, Al Green, Luther, Michael Jackson, Prince, of course, and then vocally Tina Turner, Gladys Knight. I love Karen Carpenter too. Stephanie Mills at one point, Phyllis Hyman. And my girl Misha Paris. She's amazing.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, these are some really amazing people that you have there.
Dionne. I forgot Dionne Warwick.
Yes, and it's funny, these are all music that I had growing up listening to, because I think my parents had this thing for Motown and that era of music, and so that music feeds the soul, and I believe that this is also where you took the soundtrack for your new film too, because like I said, it's delicious and you feel satisfied listening to it.
Yes, that, like you said, that era of music, oh my God. It's just, it's definitely so fulfilling, and that's why it was so fun, to do this and to not hide the fact that I was doing it, because sometimes people, they sneak it in there, but it was like, no, I want this to be the star, the music is funky, and, it is soulful.
Awesome.
So I get to be as soulful as I want to be.
And it comes across. We've had another question come in, and this question goes, what advice would you give someone younger coming into this business, someone who's just starting out, to come into the space that you are in? How do they start? What advice would that be?
Well, first I would say, you got to definitely do it for the love and not, I know, especially with young folks, everything is like quick, fast, hurry, finances. Learn the business, do it for the love, and hopefully when you do what you love, the money will come. Definitely be your own brand today. Do your work. Start out wherever you can build your audience, whether it's, at, a club or church or whatever it is, social media, definitely use all the tools that are in front of you to be an artist, and then take all the classes, study all the greats. This is what I wish I would have learned because I'm doing that now, older, but, studying classical and studying the greats, not just the contemporary artists, because, the beauty is to have your own style. You never want to sound just like another artist. So to be able to understand the phrasings of these older artists, but then, make them in your contemporary way. And so study the greats and be a total performer. Dance, singing, acting, writing, know who you are and who you're not, which is even more important. So that would be, I can tell you so much, but that starts, and, be your own label. Start your own label, do the work, because it's a lot of work, and it's a great time in the business if you're ready to, put in the work to do it. You don't have to wait for somebody to sign you, It's the audience, the World Wide Web. We're here waiting on you. Come on, girl. Come on, girl.
All right. You spoke about earlier when you said, one of the reasons why you stepped away from the music industry at that point, you were feeling depressed. You weren't feeling, you weren't feeling yourself. So right now, what are you currently doing to take care of yourself? What are your self-care practices? How do you take care of you and the artist within?
Well, first and foremost, I am very aware that I have a gift and that it is it's a blessing to have this gift and it's a responsibility. So I'm always, consciously making sure that, the gratitude is always there. And sharing. I believe that's the best part for me. What I'm doing is I love to, especially with young people, I love to share and encourage and talk about, my journey. And so those are the things that I'm doing now that kind of keep you grounded when you're giving. So I love to do that and to mentor. I mentor a lot of young people and, through doing entrepreneur stuff and, also just singing, writing, but I love to share my story. I love to share the good, bad, and the ugly. And I think when I do that, it helps me to remember where I came from and to always be humble and grateful.
Oh, that's incredible. Especially the point about pouring into others as much as pouring into yourself.
Yeah, that's the key. And I think that when you're, before I think I was receiving, but I wasn't giving back enough. And I think that's where you can get, the idle mind and just spending money and shopping and all that crap, that gets old and tired. So it's you got to be giving. You know what I mean? It's you got to be that place right there, even if it's not, even with this movie, I mean, it's not like we've made a ton of money, but I feel like I'm given. There's a story, there's music, that it's still worth it to me. And I'm not saying do stupid things financially, just, I just want to spend this money to give, and not make a return on my investment.
Yes.
But there's other ways, everything isn't monetary. So even having this conversation with you, if I can touch some people to go out and, especially, older people that feel like, Karyn White has done it, I can do it too. And it's not too late. Dreams don't have expiration dates.
This is
and
true.
That is that's living, stretching, not knowing. I could have easily just been safe and sitting. Even today with this closing, I'm like, I've never done a rehab on a house from the studs that had mold and, to where I had to really just go in and rebuild everything. I've always done things that was, I'm going to go in and, fix, change the wood by buffing it and paint and, change this, put a farmhouse sink in, put some molding. But this is something that I even stretched at. But I know that that's what living is, not being safe. But I'm not saying be stupid, but
right.
Keep, when there's that feeling of fear and when there's that feeling of, am I not doing it because it's not smart or is it the fear? And usually a lot of times it's fear because you're like, But once you, the best feeling that you have is when you persevere through it and you see like, wow, I did this. It did, I know, I have another skill set. I've done it. I can do more things. And so for me, I think that's what living is to me, is, really just, that's why, like going after, all the things that you're desiring in your heart, and especially things that can help and motivate other people. So that's really where I'm at right now. And I'm really thankful and prayerful that, that God has me, doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. And spiritually, at one point, this is funny, I'll say this little story. I was thinking about, I was like, we should take this on the road. We should get a van, my producer and I was like, we should just drive around the country, and we should tell people social media we're going to be coming. We're going to show the film on this, not a van, but it's like an RV on the bus, meet our fans, and just make this whole show. And, that's just something that I'm probably thinking about doing. And I was really heavily thinking about doing it a few months ago. So we'll see if it happens. So stay tuned for that as well.
Oh,
and
yes.
I love to shop for antiques, and then this would be just great because I can, I could be doing all kinds of stuff. That as well as, meeting people, and like you said, meeting young people, inspiring them, questions, anything that has to do with being an entrepreneur and just a Black person, and try to make it and build your dreams here without, really being losing yourself, because
right.
A lot of people, they don't want to do the work. It's like we want all this great stuff, but it comes with a price. But so anyway, I may do it. We'll see what happens on that.
Oh, please. I think there are people who will love for you to do that, because that will be a brand new way and a different way of reaching the audience. So if you do decide to do it, let me know. We will have you back on the show to talk about it. And also, we want to know, how you get on with the development of the property in Atlanta. I'm going to be following that, and we'll love to talk to you about that again once you're complete with that project.
Oh, right. Well, thank you. Yes, I definitely would love to share the beauty of, today we don't even have to. We can reach all these people, right? All we got to do is just, do these posts. And so I'm able to, I have a big fan base outside of the United States. So I'm really excited about, sharing my journey, doing more writing, and, even with this next project of what we're doing, anybody that has ideas for films and movie scripts, please, out there, you guys send it to, well, make sure it's copywritten first, but send it to KarynWhite.me. I'd love to, hear about it, and, we may be, trying to find something amazing to do for the next project as well.
Awesome. So you've heard it first. If you have a script that is complete, that is worked, send it in to Karyn White, and she will gladly look at it, and she might actually say yes to for her next project. Karyn, that is just amazing.
Thank you.
I am going to be a cheeky Brit, and I'm going to just be cheeky, plain and simple. And I am going to ask you a real huge favor before we end the show. If you could do a bit of Superwoman for us. Just a bit.
Sure.
Yay!
Hold on. Okay, here we go, y'all. In the morning, I put breakfast at your table, and I make sure your coffee has its sugar. Your eggs are over easy, your toast done lightly, but all that's missing is your morning kiss that used to greet me. But now you say the juice is sour. It used to be so sweet, and I can't help but to wonder if you're talking about me. 'Cause we don't talk the way we used to talk. It's hurting so deep. I've got my pride, I will not cry, but it's making me weak. I'm not your superwoman. All right. I did more than I thought.
Oh my God. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for being you. Thank you for being on the show. And once this movie, we are looking forward to you releasing this movie in the UK as it being in our cinemas. We are expectant of having you in our great city. I'm totally blown away. So thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for having me. This was a great show. You got good thing, girl. I got to follow you and great things in your future, too. I'm really proud of you. This was an awesome show. It's Lorena, right?
Lillian.
Lillian.
Yes.
Why did I think it was Marina? I'm sorry. Why did I write that down? I'm sorry. Because I was singing your song. I'm sorry. My bad. Lillian. Okay.
Yes.
I'm sorry. But thank you for having me, and it was a pleasure and an honor. I look forward to coming back on the show again.
Oh, anytime. You were invited back, and I can't wait to meet you in person when you're in the UK.
All right. I'll definitely pick you up on that. I'll let you know. Hopefully I'll be over there, like I said, in a few months, and you can come say hi to me in person.
Oh, definitely. Looking forward to it. So thank you so much, Karyn, for being on the show. Now, guys, you've just heard Karyn White sing live on my show. I am, total fangirl mode, and I cannot express how much of an honor it is to have this woman who is not just a singer, a writer, producer, label owner. This woman is a serial entrepreneur who gives as much as she receives, and she is ready to take on new challenges and has new projects. If you want to find out more, if you want to download the movie, if you want to get the soundtrack that we spoke about, go to karynwhite.me. You will not regret it. And all I can say, it's a wrap, folks. That's the end. Good night.
You've been listening to the Shine Out Loud Show. If you want to connect with us or let us know what you thought of today's show, be sure to follow us on Twitter at Shine Out Show.